I'm Violet. I'm a witch. I like to do tarot readings and other things that are weird. And today I want to do a tarot reading, a pick a card reading for what your destiny is. Tarot is great at fortune telling and it's good about telling us what's going to happen. And a lot of people use it for like romance or career, all kinds of things. Like yesterday I did, what you can expect in your week ahead, things like that. But tarot is, I think, best at self-exploration. That's why I got really interested in it. It's really good at uncovering mystery. So it's something that we can use to learn more about ourselves and our paths. I've always been really obsessed and focused with like, what's my purpose? What do I need to do in life? And I think a lot of other people feel that way too, especially whenever, we're in a tumultuous time or we aren't feeling very safe or grounded. So I have 4 piles today. I have an object for each pile. The way pick a card readings work is I will show you an object correlated to a pile, and I will have the timestamp for your pile in either the description of this video or also in the comments. I'll have it in the description and in the comments. It'll be a pinned comment, so it should be the first one. You just click the timestamp and you'll go to the portion of the video where your reading is. So for pile 1, we're going to do the black obsidian orb. That's that. That's pile 1. Pile 2 is my clear quartz wand. It has green actinolite in it. Pile 3 is tiger's eye. It's really pretty. And pile 4 is crystal malachite. So you don't have to know anything about the stones. Just choose whatever feels right to you. Don't overthink it. Usually whatever first comes to mind is what you should go with. In this reading, I'm going to look at where you are now, what your destiny is, and the path to that destiny. So go ahead and pick your pile, and I'll see you at the portion of your reading. So pile 1, how are you doing? So today we want to know about what your destiny is. So first I'm going to look at where you, currently in your life. That's way too many cards. Where are you right now? What's going on in your life right now? Or how about, who are you right now? So, we have the Queen of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So, you are someone who is very intelligent. Right now, you are not really over-focused on your emotions. You're thinking a lot. You're using your mental capabilities. Your intelligence is a strength, so that is what you are relying on right now. The Queen of Swords can be kind of judgmental at times, so you may be feeling like you aren't in a place where you can really give a lot emotionally. You may be really exhausted by what's going on in the world. The Wheel of Fortune is talking about having a lot of like ups and downs. The Wheel of Fortune also means that like your life may have been very dictated by chance. It could be something where like when you were a kid, your family moved really far away from where you grew up due to like just like your dad or mom suddenly getting an opportunity that took you far away. Your like college experience could have been something really unexpected where you were applying and focusing on one area, and then suddenly like maybe you were even sought out or scouted out, and you were suddenly chosen, and your intelligence played a big part of that. The Queen of Swords can also be a teacher. They can be nurses. They tend to be in fields of study where like you need a lot of certification and intelligence and hard work to achieve where you are. And excuse me, is also though a receptive energy. So you are intelligent, but you haven't really been in a position of power yet. You may feel like it's just going to take a chance opportunity for you to be in power. I feel like you do want a sense of power. You would like to have more control, probably in your job specifically. Let me get another card. The Nine of Wands. So in terms of like your upbringing and your past, you may have been feeling really overburdened. Your upbringing could have been really difficult. I feel like maybe your parents put a lot of attention on you, like you really had to succeed, and you may think like, oh, the level at which I have to succeed doesn't really reflect my work ethic. Like it may be where you felt like your education and grades came easy to you because it was sort of pushed into you at a young age that you had to work really hard, and that achieving a lot academically was a really important part of your family. Or having a job, it could be like multiple people in your family carrying on a certain line of work, and you feel pressure to be in that line of work as well. My cat is playing with the rug and it's really cute, and I'm trying not to look over at it right now. Maybe you're feeling distracted from that. Maybe like you feel like, I'm supposed to do this thing, I'm supposed to, like, everyone in my family does this is what I'm meant to do, but you're distracted from that. And maybe you're feeling like you just want an opportunity to come in to mix things up, because that's what's happened so many times in your life, is that typically with the Wheel of Fortune, you may actually be naturally really lucky. That's Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is a very expansive, like, it's a really positive energy. Jupiter is really beautiful. So you could just feel like, you know, you just have to have an opportunity come up. You've been putting out like your feelers for an opportunity because right now you're really overworked. You're pretty, like, you're getting to the breaking point with your job or your lifestyle. It just isn't working for you anymore, and you're starting to feel really overwhelmed by that. You may be thinking like you don't see an end in sight, and that's why you're seeing like, I just need luck to be on my side. I would say though, with the Wheel of Fortune, you are naturally lucky, so you most likely will get an opportunity like that. So let's see what your destiny is. What is Pile 1's destiny? Who are they meant to be? Okay. Kind of different from where you are now. We have 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups, and then we have the 10 of Cups. You are meant to live out your dreams, and you're meant to be working in your dream field. So if this very strict sort of academia or medical or phlebotomy, like whatever type of like sterile energy there is to your work, that's the reason it doesn't work with you, and the reason you may be feeling ashamed for maybe not living up to your standard, or like living up to, you may be ashamed because it doesn't feel fulfilling, and you're like, this is supposed to be fulfilling, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what like I've been set up to do for my life. What you're supposed to be doing is you're supposed to be working on your dreams. You really need to take time to really dive into fantasy about what you want to do, because your fantasy can be reality. It will be reality. You're meant to be really happy with the 10 of Cups. If you are considering having a family at some point, you're meant to do that. Your family is going to be really important. You need to start thinking less about carrying on your lineage, and or carrying on your family's lineage, like your parents and your ancestry. And you need to think about the lineage you want to express in your line after this point. With the 10 of Cups, it could be really important for you to have a child, to foster children if you don't want to give birth, if you don't want to get married or have kids or anything like that. You're meant to be happy, but you're still meant to find a sense of family. So it could be part of your purpose to be like doing some type of public works for like the collective, like helping children. I'm getting a lot of like working with kids, helping families, helping the elderly, like working with the collective in a way where you are helping people who've been like left behind in some way or forgotten, out, like, what am I trying to say? Reaching out to people. You really need to like dive into what your fantasy is, though, because when I'm saying things like helping people, you could be like, oh, well, like nursing or like education. Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to do it the way you're doing it currently. You're not supposed to be like in such a strict field. You need to get clear about what it is you really want and what you're afraid of. You need to accept, like, maybe the work you're doing now is scary to you, or you have like this fear that if you don't do the work you're supposed to do, that you're supposed to do or should do, then you're not going to be happy. But what you need to do is you need to explore what your fears are so that you can release them and explore what your fantasies are, so you can decide what really needs to be a dream, or like what is a dream of yours, what you really want to accomplish, because you may not have given yourself the opportunity to go after that before. The Seven of Cups, usually it depicts like all these different possibilities in the sky, and the person watching them on the card is very like overwhelmed, and there's like opportunities for wealth, for disaster, for a very strong ego, for being consumed by your shadow, for helping others. There's all of these really grand possibilities, and that's something that you are meant to do with work. That is meant, like, your profession is part of your destiny and your purpose. You have a very important purpose regarding your job. You have a really good work ethic, and I think that your upbringing and your previous jobs have given you a really good foundation so that you know how to do this work, because it's probably something you're going to have to like create on your own. You may just be creating a type of work that hasn't ever really been done before, and it has to do with helping people. So I want to circle back to that point. It's not like if you're doing like nursing or teaching or something along those lines. Those are two that I'm sticking, like, are coming up, but it doesn't have to be that. It's just some type of work in that vein, some type of caretaking or something, but something that's kind of like strict, where there's very strong things you have to, like laws and things you have to follow. There's some type of work that's going to bring joy to people. It's going to bring people happiness, and you're still going to be helping people, but you have a bigger purpose than just like supplying aid to people. Like, it's not just handing out tests to people. There's a much bigger purpose you have, and like a bigger destiny in terms of like bringing joy to people, and that in turn will make you really happy. It'll make your lineage very happy. You'll heal some ancestral wounds you have, and you'll set up your children or whatever, like if you choose to have children. If not, then people will be coming under your wing if it's not about having kids, if it's not about like having a family. If it is about having a family, it's really important for you to build that foundation. You could have children that have really important purposes as well, and you are meant to have those kids, and you need to disconnect from some of like the overbearing lineage, like control, ancestry stuff from your parents and your grandparents, etc. I also kind of feel like maybe you have like some type of energy from like family that isn't in the country, like in your current place, and like there's a lot of pressure from those people to like behave a certain way or like meet a certain expectation, and you feel like, you know, the people in like the other location aren't really able to see like a full profile of who you really are. They're just sort of like trying to push you into being something based on like what they expect of you, like what they expect from your family. So yeah, you're going to be doing something that makes people really happy. You're meant to be happy. You're meant to have a happy home and a happy family. If you don't want blood relatives and things like that, then you're meant to have a happy chosen family and to bring more people into your life. You're meant to expand your circle from bigger than what it is now. You should have contact with a lot of people, and you should be sort of in the public eye or in the public. And part of this is going to be with working with fantasy, working with your dreams, being really clear about what it is. Like, you most likely do really want to help people. It's a very like Aquarius energy where you want to you need to destroy old foundations, especially within your family. And you need to start focusing on what it is that you know would actually help people. Hold on one second. Hello. Sorry about my cat, Lily. So that covers that. Let's see how you're going to get there. What steps do you need to take to recognize this? To bring this destiny forward? Okay. Page of Swords, the World, and the Two of Cups. There is someone you need to connect with to bring this destiny about. The Page of Swords means that there is an idea you have. You may already sort of know what you want to do, or there's someone you need to talk to who has this idea. And it could be someone that you sort of feel like you're already connected to, or maybe it's even just someone that you like see as like you're aspiring to be more like. Like, it may not be someone you know directly, but I think for most people this is someone you know. If you don't know this person yet, it's going to be part of your path is meeting someone that's important for this. Because with the Ten of Cups, that's a lot of family energy. The Two of Cups is partnership. It's also like love. It can be the beginning of love. It doesn't have to be. It can be, if it's a work partner and someone that you're just going to work with and build this foundation with, then it's someone that you'll have a soulmate connection to. Soulmates aren't always romantic. They just mean someone that you most likely know from a past life. You guys work really well together. There's a really good energy between the two of you. There's not a lot of karma entwined. You just can work effectively in this life together. If you are looking for love and you are looking for some type of romantic partnership, that partner is going to be part of your destiny. If that is the case, then you most likely have like an important family to have. Like, this person can help you break those ties, because the Page of Swords is like, there's an idea you have. The Page of Swords also means that like you're probably nervous about acting upon this idea. Like, maybe you're scared to like talk to this person, or like you're scared to admit that you need other people. That has been like a lesson for me, has been like, I can do everything alone, like no problem. But the more I do my work, the more like amazing people are coming into my life, and the more like I'm realizing how much I needed that, how much I really wanted people around. I just was hiding because I didn't trust the people around me for a long time. But I have been able to build like a good group around me of people that I can trust, and then that's bringing in more people, which is fantastic. So you're meant to have sort of this public connection in some way, especially with the World. You most likely are meant to travel. That's awesome. I love this card. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? I love her. So the signs around her, I think, are the fixed signs. So this makes me feel like there's something sort of like chaotic about your destiny. Like, there's not chaotic, but it's something like unexpected. Like, maybe your destiny really does have to do with like traveling abroad, and you're going to attach to this destiny and bring it into your life whenever you do that. The Page of Swords has to do with like an idea coming in. Sometimes it's delayed, so it may mean to me, what I'm sort of feeling and hearing is that you may sort of already know what this is, but you haven't felt comfortable pursuing it and like saying it out loud. That Seven of Cups energy from your destiny is like, you probably already really good at dreaming and daydreaming. I'm huge at daydreaming, and it can be like not really helpful, but it also is really helpful. Daydreaming can help you manifest the dreams you want. It helps you get clear about what you really desire. Excuse me, I burp again. So I guess listen to that. Your daydreams are telling you about what you really desire. Your daydreams have a message for you. The things you're daydreaming about are important. They're not just distractions. You may be like, oh, I can't do my work because all I do is daydream all day, your soul wants to go do that thing more. Like, you'll be happier and more fulfilled. You probably won't have to work as hard as you're working right now. Because I feel like if you have the Nine of Wands, you're really overworked and you're close to, like, going nuck and futz, as I like to say. So you have an idea. The Page of Swords also talks about the intelligence of sort of the Queen of Swords. So it's that you are very intelligent, but maybe the thing you're going toward isn't something you know a ton about. You have like a little inkling of like, this is something I'd like to do, but I don't know enough. You'll learn about it through this connection with this person, this either business partnership or romantic partnership, or like, you know, if it's a business partnership, you guys can be like really good friends. Like, you guys are gonna work super fucking well together. You're gonna be on the same wavelength, like almost like telepathic. Like, it's gonna be a really good connection. And the both of you are meant to travel. It may also be that you get you take the opportunity to travel, and then you meet your connection, then you meet this person abroad. Not necessarily, that may not be what it is, but it can be part of the message as well. So you need to accept that you're anxious, accept some of the fears you have, because accepting our fears is the first step to just, whenever you let them melt and just like accept them, then you can like do other stuff. Like, you aren't held on by them. Like, the fear typically is like this scary shadow, but whenever you look at it and see it for what it is, like the episode of Doug, when he's really afraid of, you probably don't remember this, but he's really afraid of like watching that movie, and all his friends are watching it, and every time the scary scene comes in on the movie in the theater, he closes his eyes, and so finally he forces himself to open his eyes, and what he sees is like a guy in a costume, and you can see a zipper, and the dreams he had about that fear, about the movie, like he was having nightmares about what he was going to see, were so much more terrifying than what he actually saw, and then he felt really confident and was able to go do other things. It's exactly like Doug Funny. Like, totally. So you just need to accept the thing you're anxious about, and you need to start making moves. Page of Swords is like, you may have been putting off this for a while, and I understand, like, if you have a job that you have to do, and you know, you almost no one can just quit their job and go travel the world and do what they want. You need to start finding time outside of that job to start putting effort into what you want. If that's connecting with other people again, in whatever way you can. If like you still aren't able to go out, depending on your situation, speaking to people online or having some type of connection again would be really helpful for you. Start thinking about where you would want to go, where you would want to travel, and then start putting effort into manifesting a partnership that makes the most sense to you and that would make you happy. Okay, I think that's everything. That is your destiny, and I hope it helps you, and I hope it makes a lot of sense for you. Enjoy. So, pile 2. Hello, pile 2. You guys had this quartz wand. So, we want to see, who are you right now first? Who is pile 2? It's taking a long time. Pile 2. Okay. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Knight of Wands. So you're a fiery person. You may have predominantly fire energy in your chart. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Four of Wands is, right now you're focusing on your home and your family. You may have just gotten married. You are probably really thinking about the summertime, looking forward to the summer. The Knight of Wands means that you're sort of impulsively going into things. So your energy right now is like, I want to be happy and I want to do that as quickly as possible. You're really focused on getting from point A to B as soon as you can. And you also could be sort of riding the high of something good that happened to you recently, so you're still sort of coasting off of that, and you aren't overly thinking about your destiny right now. You could feel like you're already sort of in it. If it has to do with your family life or having a family, you could feel like, well, that is my destiny. But with the Knight of Wands, there is something under the surface within you that really wants to get out. So you can be happy with your life and enjoying it, but there is like some type of energy or something that you need to express. There's some type of desire or focus or hope that is trying to come out. Let me figure out what that is. Temperance. And the Nine of Wands again. I have two different decks, so I split them into fours. And the Nine of Wands came in from a different deck, the first reading, and the Nine of Wands is here again for your reading. So we have Temperance. That's also a Sagittarius card, so another fire sign. And the Nine of Wands, which is also fire. So we have all wands and then one major arcana. So the thing that you have some type of burden you felt for a long time. You've been sort of carrying on this challenge that you are ready to heal. And right now it may be that you are enjoying your happy environment because there's something deeper that you've needed to heal. And you're just sort of like letting that have its own space, and you're just sort of like, it's just under the surface. It could be like, you know what, I know I have some trauma from my childhood. You know what, I know I have some issues with people in town that I don't get along with. I'm just going to leave that where it is now. It's still like a burden to me, but there are other things in my life I'm going to focus on and work on healing, because it's not something you can really deal with. It may also be that these burdens can make you feel really activated. So whenever you do think about them, you can act really impulsively. You could try to be like, I have to fix my life like in one night, or like, oh, that's an issue, let me like change my whole life and, you know, fix everything. Like, let me change everything up. So it's sort of an energy where things are good and you're happy and you're enjoying where you are, but things under the surface, there's probably some stuff you're still hoping to heal and wanting to give room to heal, but you don't really know how to do that. So let's see what your destiny is. Drink some water. A lot of the same cards are coming up for two different decks. This is really interesting. So we had all wands for who you are now. Your future energy is all pentacles. Six of Pentacles. The World. So this card also came out in the first deck. And then the Knight of Pentacles. So right now you're using all of this fiery energy. You are kind of impulsive. You're sort of like maybe anxious, sort of jumping from thing to thing. You're trying to stick with what makes you happy. And jumping from happy thing to happy thing. Just trying to like sort of skim the surface. Your destiny has to do with being a lot more practical and more grounded. The Six of Pentacles means that you could be inspired to do some type of charity work. You may really want to help other people. You want to find balance and bring balance. And this is something that you have like the beginning ideas about, but you may see it as something that's going to take a really long time. And it's going to be something that is changing your world, essentially. I need to get more information. You want to help other people. You want to help people on a global scale, most likely. You want to change the foundations other people have. So we have the moon, fish, and clover from Lenormand. So your destiny has to do with healing your fear, healing your trauma, because that'll be really abundant to you. It'll bring in abundance, and it will spread that abundance into bringing opportunities for other people. So you could be someone who wants to do like therapy or counseling, charity work, grassroots projects. There could be a cause overseas that you're really focused on, or something away from where you grew up, so another part of the country, and is going to take some grounding for you to get there. What you want to do is to positively impact the world and make a difference, but to make stable foundations. So that's what your destiny is. Your destiny is to get past your fears, accept your dreams, sort of similar to pile one, and your dreams are going to bring you abundance, and your dreams are probably going to take you away from where you are now. Your destiny may have to do with going somewhere else where this opportunity actually is. With all this water energy from the fish and the moon and the world, it is sort of like a distance for whatever would be far to you from where you are currently. If that's just a state over and you're really close to the people you live with, then that could feel like a huge thing. It could be like all the way across the world. But whenever you are able to tap into these dreams, these like opportunities are going to come in, and like happiness for people. You're going to be bringing happiness to other people. I want to see a little bit more. Okay, the Fool and the Knight of Cups. So yeah, your destiny is about doing something totally different than what you're doing right now. It doesn't mean you have to throw everything away that you're doing. Like if you have a family, you know, you don't have to like leave your family and do stuff like that. You need to pursue the thing that makes you happiest, because that's what your destiny is. I keep saying what you need to do, and I'm supposed to be focusing right now on what your destiny is. Your destiny is you leaving behind what isn't good for you anymore, and to stop jumping from things so that you can attain long-term happiness. You most likely, there's something about going afar, like going abroad, going further away from where you are, to bring love to people, to bring joy to people somehow, to even out the playing field, to start, like this could even be something where you like start a foundation that gives money to people so that they can start housing, or so that they can like, or it could be about like farming. It's something about planting seeds in other people. Your destiny is to go away from where you are and to plant seeds of healing in other people. But first you need to heal this underlying trauma. And you are healing it, I believe, but it's going to take a little bit more time. And whenever that is to a point where you're able to not be ruled by what this past experience was, you'll be able to go forward and sort of like instill the knowledge in other people on how they can like fix their own lives. So that's really your destiny, is either going far away. Most of this is travel. I will say like a lot of this has to do with going away from where you are, or doing something very, very different than what you're doing now, because there's a bigger cause for you to be a part of, but it's going to be quite individual based. I think it could be something where it's a cause of like agricultural or education or something like that, but you are going to be like having your own portion of it where you specifically are like helping people with whatever foundation you start. It's most likely something you'll do on your own. You'll begin this thing, and it can be really life-changing for people. So let's see how you're going to get there. How will you achieve your destiny? A lot of the same cards keep coming up. So many of the same cards. All right, Ten of Cups. That was in the first pile. Three of Wands. The Four of Swords. The Knight of Wands, which already came up for you. And then the Queen of Swords, who was in the first pile too. Let me remember the order it came up. How will you get there? So, I do think where you are right now does have to do with your destiny. Because we had the Four of Wands, which is happiness and like family type energy, beginning something, like a foundation, starting foundation. And then the Knight of Wands, which is sort of like this fast, impulsive energy that you have. The Ten of Cups is happy family, happily ever after, like this really beautiful experience. The Three of Wands has to do with your ships coming in. So we have more ship and water energy. So, the way you're going to get there is with what you're doing now, an opportunity will come in and you need to take the opportunity because it's attached to your destiny. There's an opportunity that will have to do with moving your family or you moving, and it's going to bring in a lot of chances for you. Like, it's something where you may get a specific job and then you go to this location and then one thing leads to another and you are doing work outside of that, and then somehow that work becomes the full-time work you do later. Or if you already know, like, you want to be involved in nonprofit work or something and you get that opportunity, you'll take it. You have the Four of Swords following that, so probably you will get this opportunity and then there'll be a time of rest where it may not feel like anything's really happening for a while and you're just sort of like learning. You may feel sort of overwhelmed by what you see. I think if you are working and helping people, you might like get to this place and then be sort of like, oh, like this is really overwhelming. I'm starting to like feel really sore. So you may want to help people who are ill or like people who have specific disabilities or illnesses that you feel impassioned about helping or advocating for, disability advocacy, equal rights type thing. And then the seeing all of this, seeing this energy is going to inspire you to have that fire again where you push forward and you will become some type of expert in your field. You'll start to really, really learn about what it is you want to do. You'll start to see things very critically and use your intelligence. And as you learn and as you keep your passion and as you start to see like the reality of the injustices, then you will see an opportunity for you to help others, to plant these seeds, to help put life and energy into other people. I hope that helps. That's everything I see for you for your destiny. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. Okay, pile 3. You had the tiger's eye. Let's see where you are right now. Who is pile 3 right now? Okay, right now we have the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. You've been a part of something for quite a long time. It could be a religion, it could be like a school program. There's something that is sort of traditional that is starting to take a weight, is like adding weight to you. there's these expectations of how you're meant to behave and the way you are meant to be. And these could be like some old beliefs that you have that come back from your family, and it's making you feel really left out. The way you feel right now is that if you were able to be who you truly are, you would lose people. You feel like if you were able to really express your true self, if you really followed what your passion is and accepted it, then you would be left out of maybe your family, or you may be kicked out of what your religion is. There's something that you have a secret passion for. The Queen of Wands is supposed to stand out. You may stand out no matter what. You probably try to dim your light, but you still stand out. And with this 5 energy, you could be causing sort of like confusion and chaos around your family or your peers. I think that's part of what you're supposed to be doing, is upsetting the status quo. With the Hierophant, it's just like this sort of whatever has been pre-established. It also could be like a very domineering grandfather energy I'm feeling, where everyone sort of does what this grandpa energy or like this patriarchal energy has said to do. People sort of fall in line, and it could be like maybe your mom or dad's father was very strict, and that's affected them to be very strict on you. And something about you being yourself would almost feel like spitting in the face of like your lineage or this person. You are pretty different from your family. And you could also be like very comfortable or interested in sexuality, and that would go against the like messages you had in childhood about modesty and the way you're meant to present yourself. You're most likely really creative. You like to express yourself physically. You have a really interesting sense of style. You're supposed to be this way, but the way you're feeling is like that goes against your upbringing. You may also be choosing to fight against that right now, where you already feel left out and kicked out, left out in the cold. So you're having rage and anger toward the establishment and your religion that you were raised with or your upbringing. So let's see what your destiny is. I feel like I need one more card. Takes forever. Come on. Okay. So we have the 7 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. So we have another Queen. And then we have Journey and Falseness from the Sibylla deck. So your destiny does have to do with being a fighter, fighting against things. You need to fight against the establishment. You're meant to revolt in a way. You're meant to be revolutionary. This is very fire energy and like air energy, where you're supposed to destroy the past. So the way you feel now about not fitting in and not being accepted is true. You don't fit in. You aren't being accepted because you aren't supposed to. You're not supposed to fit in. You're not supposed to be in the shadows. Not you. Definitely not. You're supposed to make a fuss. You're supposed to upset the status quo to bring in change. There are these like walls that have been set up around you and your family, and or like your whole culture. There's something where you can really see these walls are set up that aren't healthy, and they aren't really protecting anything, and they're keeping out people and they're causing harm. Like, this could really have to do even with like country borders and things. You are supposed to show people better ways to have a foundation. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have an energy where you can create life. You can create a new reality for people. You can create a very grounded, loving space. And right now, you're feeling a lot of that rage because you've seen so much injustice. That rage will carry you into your destiny, because truly you are like the rage is coming from your compassion and your empathy and your furiousness at seeing injustices in the world. You are going to fight against something that seems like impossible to break against, but you'll break it down. With falseness and journey, you're meant to go away from the energy of falseness. You're meant to travel away, or you're meant to go places where there is corruption and fight against that corruption. I think that could really be it. I think you are like a freedom fighter. You're meant to disrupt things, disrupt like the really harmful foundations people have built up, because what you see is like certain people really protecting themselves and not causing other people to be left out in the cold and to hurt. And you have experienced that in your own life in different ways. So it's time, like in your destiny, you will provide better foundations and better options and show people how to feel safe and connected and happy by destroying their false beliefs. So it could be that you are going to be revolutionary and do those things, or it could be like you are a counselor or something and you help people deconstruct their past. That there's something though that's argumentative about this. I don't feel as much of a healer. I feel more of like someone who calls out. If you know that painting, Truth Coming Out of the Well to Shame Mankind, sort of that energy where it's like this woman coming out of a well. And wells were this, they used to be believed to be like a passage to the underworld. People would drop spells in them because water carries things. It's a emotional psychic energy. And so people would put curses and spells in the well, and that would travel, that it's like this very deep deep subconsciousness, where you see like falseness. So when truth is coming out of the well, it's sort of like this, you coming out. It's almost like Joan of Arc energy. I don't know. It's something where you want to expose corruption, and you're supposed to expose corruption. So if you're pissing off people, you're probably doing the right thing, honestly. Let's see how you'll get to your destiny. Yep. The way you'll get to your destiny is by destroying stuff. I like this pile a lot. This is my favorite so far, I think. Well, I like all of them, but I like this energy. You are a destroyer. You're supposed to destroy stuff. I'm a destroyer too. It's okay. That was part of my birth calling. You're a destroyer. Maybe that's why I like this pile. I resonate with it. You are meant to destroy false foundations and learn and teach others so that you can show them how to destroy the foundation too, and tell them why they need to destroy their foundation. What this means in terms of getting to that, we have the Page of Pentacles now. So right now you're the Queen of Wands. You're sort of like a loose cannon, but you are like, it could be that people look at you and they're already like, oh yeah, they always like they buck the status quo, and they like say fuck the system, and they're all like fuck 12 and everything. it could be like you're already seen that way and you're feeling the resistance from like your family and stuff. What's going to happen is that you will like engage in the chaos and the destruction. You'll see that like it probably does feel good to you. It feels good to destroy things. It doesn't feel good to disappoint your family, but it feels good to like call out people when they're being wrong. And that's sort of what you're going to be doing. And then as you destroy things and accept destruction, you're going to learn. You'll learn better ways to build a community. You'll learn better ways to build society. You'll learn ways to teach other people. Because as the Queen of Pentacles, later in your destiny, you will be this foundation, like this resource that people can go to for help, where you mostly though are going to be like organizing against harmful regimes and foundations. That's really, really cool. I hope that makes sense. I hope it resonates. Let me know what you think in the comments. I always appreciate that. And that's really cool. You're the destroyer. So live up to that name. Don't be afraid of it. Okay, last pile, pile 4. Let's see. Where are you right now? Who are you currently? One card already came out. Who is pile 4? So many similar cards in every pile. All the same cards. I was like, I only have 2 decks, so I was like, oh, I'll split my decks up so that way I don't get the same cards over and over again. I still got like almost all the same cards in every pile. So right now you are King of Swords. This is the Alphonse Mucha, however you want to say his name. The 7 of Cups. This card has already come out in a pile. The 3 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles. This also came up already. Right now, okay, so you could be an air sign. You could be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. If you are not an air sign, it means that's the energy you're working in. If you have your air sign as your rising sign, this means that you are focusing now on your destiny and like who you want to be. If air is your in your moon, then you are focusing on, kind of a place of comfort you're already in. Like it could be you're doing habits that are already comfortable to you. So right now you are transforming. You're in some type of position, or you're trying to be in an authoritative place. The way that you're talking to people and handling things is from a very like mercurial way. There isn't a lot of like emotion in this. The emotional part is the 7 of Cups, and that is sort of like fear and fantasy sort of taking over. So you may feel like really overwhelmed by what could happen. It could be like you're afraid to dream, or like the dreams can be scary and like the nightmares are scary. It's just that something outside of where you are right now feels unsafe, and so you're afraid of sort of pursuing that in a way, and you're trying to be less emotional about these dreams and things. You're trying to cut out and like clear your energy. The 3 of Pentacles is that you may be like in an apprenticeship, you could be in school, you could be learning something, or you could be trying to teach other people something. But with the 5 of Pentacles, I would say you most likely are not making good money right now. It could say that you maybe feel a little bit left out of the field you're in, because I feel like these people already are in a career, possibly. You could feel like you just aren't getting it, and you're judging yourself a lot. You may be working a lot with ill people as well, like with sickness, because the King of Swords can be a doctor, or something in the medical field, and then the 5 of Pentacles is someone who's sick often. But somehow you don't really feel like you can connect to people. Your connections with people right now have a lot to do with like your intelligence and connecting to people on a mental level rather than so much of an emotional one, because emotions don't feel super safe to you right now. So let's see what your destiny is. Okay. We have Lovers. This is the Cross from Lenormand. The King of Wands. And the Hermit. So the Lovers is about love, but it's mostly about making a decision. And since we're talking about your destiny, this has to do with making a choice. Your destiny has to do with deciding to move your energy into something else. So I think that you could be on the right career path, actually. I think the work you're doing could actually be right for you. But there's something about it in your destiny that will change. You're going to be making a decision. There could be 2 lines of work in the field you're learning about. You may be choosing between, like, I'm not seeing like a clergy worker or something. Like, there could be 2 different locations. There's a duality here where right now you're in like this apprentice type, you're learning or just starting off. But there's going to be an opportunity for you to express yourself better, to be more of yourself, and to have this work be more authentic. With the Hermit, this means that your path is something separate from people. So it doesn't mean that like you're not going to have friends and family. The career you have is something that only you can do. So you may be part of like a field, like if you are in the medical field, I just keep using that example. If you're in some type of field like that, then there's some aspect of that work where there's something you will offer and you'll be the only person that offers that. And this is something that, yeah, only you can do. And it has to do with you not going along with people anymore. The King of Wands is an energy of like recklessness, like fire, of doing his own thing. This is someone who can like live off the grid, who like creates their own stuff, who has like a lot of passion. Your destiny has to do with reconnecting to possibly something that makes you mad, something that is an injustice, and using that to fuel this path where you can help other people. Because the Hermit goes along trails at night looking for lost followers, like lost followers, but lost people, and taking them back to the monastery to heal them. So that's why I keep thinking about doctors, I think, because a lot of this is like healing energy, like being a healer. So maybe that's what it is that maybe you're in a kind of strict field right now, but you're going to choose to do an alternative type of healing, like Reiki or herbal medicine, or laying on of hands, something that is different, but it's something that you'll become a very like expertise type student in. With the cross, this can say that like you're dealing with burdens and the burdens of other people, but the cross is also our destiny. So since there's like a reiteration of this being your destiny, I'd like to get some more cards. We have another king, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords, and the Bear. So, King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Bear. So this is saying to me that, like, your destiny is you, like, yeah, you need to, right now you're being very mercurial. The work you're in is very mental. You could be in a lab all day, you could be in a uniform all day, something like that, where it feels controlled. Your destiny is in a less controlled environment. And if you like that kind of control, it's something where you will be creating the rules. The Ten of Pentacles here, like, okay, so King of Wands is like connecting to your passion and not being afraid to stand out and to be seen as eccentric. The King of Cups is connecting to, like, your emotions, and something about your destiny has to do with emotional connection and emotional healing or psychic healing. And the Ten of Pentacles is saying that this is like a foundation you'll build all on your own, where you will have a really successful business. Like, you could have, like, your own office building. Like, this could be something that is really major for you. But the Eight of Swords is saying that, like, there is, like, this level of fear you have where you feel like, I can't do that. Like, even now you're probably like, I can't do something like that, because you don't want to go against this bear energy, which is either a boss, a mentor, a father, some type of energy where, like, I can't do that because the bear will get me. Like, the bear is typically some type of, like, financial power, and you feel like maybe you can't go away from your current path because then you won't be successful. But you actually will be really successful. Really successful. And it's good that you're interested in this very intelligent, intellectual thing. I feel like you're naturally intelligent and good at stuff, so you chose a field that maybe can be kind of sterile, but your destiny will have to do with letting in a little bit more emotion than maybe you're comfortable with right now. So let's see how you'll get to that point. How will they reach their destiny in pile 4? Okay. The Wheel of Fortune and the Emperor. This card already came up in another pile too. You will have a chance opportunity to be an authority. Either someone who already is someone that you look up to, if it's your mentor who you're learning from, or someone in your field who is really powerful, will give you a chance opportunity. It could even be where maybe that person leaves their position and you're able to fulfill it. Like, there's something where there's an opportunity for someone to leave and you take that position, or you will take a chance on yourself. Really, your destiny will happen when you take a chance. You take a chance opportunity, and it could be an opportunity for you to have your own business. It's some type of opportunity for you to be in a position of power, and you need to take the opportunity when it comes up. You could be afraid to do that. I think you are with the Eight of Swords. You're afraid. You probably don't see yourself as being that commanding, but you have so many kings and the Emperor. Your destiny is to be commanding. Your destiny is to be in control and to set a new standard for people. I do feel like a lot of this is healing energy. It may be something where you're like, how is that healing? Like, I just want to, like, do something I don't, somehow it's going to help people, or you're offering a service or something, and there's a way that it's done now, and you're going to do it in a different way, and that's really cool and really good. But you're scared to do it differently, and it feels like a burden right now, but that's your destiny. So keep learning, keep working, and when you're ready, take that opportunity, because then everything will change, and you'll be in charge. You'll be in control. And with these two major arcana, it means that it will definitely happen. You will definitely get an opportunity. I wonder if I can see timing. Let's see if I can get Three of Cups. This can mean 3 months or 3 years from now. So you may have something in 3 months. So for us, that would be like the rest of June, July, and August. It could be autumn, sometime in autumn, the end of this year, or 3 years from now if you're in a program of study. Just look for opportunity, put out that energy, like that, you don't have to tell people unless that would be helpful for you to network in that way. The Three of Cups also means that maybe you could need to network. It means also this opportunity could come up when you're having fun, when you're enjoying yourself, when you start to get connected to your emotions, when you find the right group of people to work with and connect with. It could be that maybe the people in your current field aren't people you really connect to. So you'll find people though that you can connect to, and they'll bring you an opportunity. And then Two of Cups is at the bottom, so there is probably an important friendship or relationship that could bring that about. So this does have to do with like chance, but it's a chance that you'll be given no matter what. Now someone's trying to mow the lawn. So that's a great note to end on. I really hope that helps you. You definitely will achieve your destiny. You just have to make sure you take that chance. And you seem really, really smart and driven, so I think you will definitely take that chance. The only thing in the way right now is your own fears. If you're feeling left out from the group of people that you work with and talk to, then I'm really sorry. That sucks. It really hurts to feel that way. But try not to take it too personally, because there's something about it that's telling you something where this isn't really where you need to be. So I'm sending you lots of good vibes. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you enjoy what your destiny is.